Yo, how we doing, everybody? Hope you're having a great, what is it, Thursday? Everything feels a little timeless sometimes, and you're running the biz. Hope everybody's having a great day. If you're watching on the replay, we got the free Amazon class going down on Wednesday. Should be a great time diving into all things Q4. The last one we got a ton of good feedback on, so it'll be fairly similar, maybe a little bit extra info, but should be super valuable for you guys. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, let us know who we got in chat tonight. Probably go for 30 minutes or so. Just gonna rip a little solo stream with you guys. Yeah, great to hang out. Just got back from a nice little walk along the lake. How's it going, MV2? Still got to spend some money today. What up, Sadiq? What up, Daryl? How you guys doing? Yeah, so let me know how things are going for your business. I'm gonna drop the link in our Discord as well real quick. What's up, Sam? You've been watching for 2 weeks straight. That is entirely too much listening to my voice, my friend. But I hope you, I guess if you've been listening for 2 weeks, I assume you got some value out of it. So thanks for watching. What's up, Trent? What's up, Christy? How you guys doing? Hit your first 1K in revenue. Bang! Now's a great time to be making your first 1K in revenue. You're learning the ropes. You're learning what sells, what doesn't sell, what types of products to sell, and you're going to be one step ahead of most of the people who are going to be watching a lot of the content right now who are just trying to get the ball rolling. So it's great you're taking the first steps. What's up, Ashton? What's up, Mark? Good to see you guys. Yeah, the Discord there real quick as well. Learning so much. Appreciate you, Daryl. Best month in October. That's a big win, Trent. Yeah, let me before we'll do some Q&A, all that kind of stuff, hang out as we normally do, but I want to see some wins. Even if it doesn't feel like a big win compared to social media, this is you must brag on yourself in the chat right now. You spent $100. If that's a big day for you, you sold $100. Let me know what your win is. Do you remove original price tags or FEM? You probably want to remove price tags for pretty much everything, Eldon. You don't want to have the customer experience where they're unboxing something and they can see that you paid $12 for it and you sold it to them for 30, right? Can lead to some negative feedback, that kind of stuff. It's not going to be the most common, but leaves a bad taste. Lost 2K because of a ban from eBay. Damn, supposed to reinvest in Amazon. No, it's not over, man. You can make 2K again pretty quick. But yeah, that does stink. I don't know much about eBay. I wish I could help you out a little bit on that, but we've been we sell a lot of our like returns and stuff on eBay and trying to get the shipped like a couple things late. And now we're in like the shadow realm where they're like mad at us and it's not in good standing or whatever they call it. But trying to look at like Mercari, Poshmark, all that kind of stuff to liquidate some old returns and stuff. Sadiq, October was highest profit month this year. That's a huge win, especially over like a back to school month or something. What's up, Matt? I sold 500 yesterday FBM items. Bought the day before. You sold. That's incredible. Double down on that. Can you get like a distributor for it? Can you find other websites that sell it? Like I'm sure you're already all day been trying to figure out how to get more of that if you sold 500 of it, but. Yeah, try to double down on that. Anything you can possibly do. That sounds like a gold mine. Mark, you got 16K in sales, 19% gross, ready for November, December. Yeah, that's not bad at all. You were doing like 10K last month, right? That's a pretty good growth rate there. Good stuff, man. Samuel started 3 weeks ago doing 300 in sales a day. Sold out of your units. Yeah, so you're sold out. Like, so what you're gonna notice, and that's gonna be like what a lot of you guys get stuck at. So for those of you guys who are in like probably like the 5 to 10K a month range, almost entirely just comes down to like buying more inventory. That's a big thing for me, is just having the confidence, right? So Samuel, you probably bought those items you made 3 weeks ago, $300 in sales in a day. You probably sold out on like almost everything you had, and now you know you can pull the trigger a little more confidently and that kind of stuff. They were in a clearance section. Don't have it anymore. Yeah, that'll do it then. It might be, especially if it's like discontinued or something. Then maybe still worth seeing what you can work out. You never know if you can find like the right supplier for it or something. But yeah, if it's clearance, maybe not the best shot there. Got approved for Nike. That's a win. It's a good brand to sell during Q4. Lots of people will be buying that for Christmas gifts and stuff. Also, just as we're moving into Q4, I've been getting a bunch of questions on like what to be sourcing, that kind of stuff. So we've got the class next Wednesday. That'll be super helpful. We'll dive into like exactly what you should be sourcing. We got some super good feedback on the last Q4 class. And then I also made a free video on my channel. It's like how to prepare for Q4, something like that. I would check that one out as well. Kind of breaks down like what you should be selling based on where you're at on Amazon, what types of categories to go to, how you should be sourcing for Q4. We're trying to give you guys enough free game that if you simply implement it, you cannot fail. The ball's in your court. If you watch all the videos, show up to the events, that kind of stuff. If you implement it, I truly think that you can win, and I think it's just an effort thing at this point. Let me know if you guys think I'm wrong, but I think a lot of you guys would agree with that. A lot of you guys who are winning real fast. What do you mostly sell? We're probably still majority like shoes and clothing right now, just because that's the easiest to spend money fast on. But doing a good amount of like grocery, health and household, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean anything that's profitable, right? How much sourcing are you doing yourself now? I mean up until Q4, I was doing basically none. I've been doing a little bit of sourcing here and there on like the occasional limited opportunity. Somebody hits you up, this sale is going on. The team finds a sale. I put somebody onto the sale they're finding, right? But I really don't do too much sourcing outside of Q4. It's really just when there's those limited opportunities. Hey, this sale popped up. If I go work for an hour, I can spend $10,000, that kind of thing. Then I'm definitely going to be sourcing that. Otherwise, I'll just let the team kind of take care of most of the sourcing. It's much more so just like figuring out where the team should be sourcing, what's going wrong, how we can be training the team. So I'm making videos here. Let's try this method, like looking through their leads, that kind of stuff. That's more the sourcing that I end up doing. You start with $500. Oh, it'd be tough for arbitrage. I would do used books if you only got $500, or do a service-based business of some kind, build up some cash flow, and then start once you got a couple $1,000. Whatever that is up to you. If you have a passion for anything service-based or anything like that, then that'd be an easy thing to start with. Are you able to have a business Prime account on the same email as your seller account? Maybe. I would not. I guess as long as you're not buying 808 flips, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be buying 808 flips on your business account, then I would not use the same email address. Especially if you're using Prime. Don't use Prime if you're doing like 808, that kind of stuff. I'm not exactly sure if you're using the account for that, but just so you're aware on that. Who should start a relationship by opening a business checking account? As far as business checking, I don't use either of those. Not really sure it's necessary to build a relationship for your business checking, but if you, it's more so for like credit cards and that kind of stuff. Capital One's probably more important to have a rep with out of Cap One or Amex, just because Amex they'll basically give you money. They'll basically give anyone money as long as you're consistently paying it off. And sometimes they might put you on a spending freeze if you can prove you can pay it off, you have the revenue to back it up, that kind of stuff. They'll let you keep spending more. So usually it's not as big of an issue with Amex cards. Referral code for professional that can help get your RA addiction under control. I wish I did, Joe. That's a good addiction to have, though. Everybody, go follow Joe Mazan on Twitter. He's been posting some crazy retail arbitrage finds and stuff. Big giant long receipt. He's crushing. We're trying to get him on the channel for an interview, doing some wholesale, all kinds of fun stuff. Main reasons that a listing wouldn't have a buy box, it's going to be like Amazon thinks it's too expensive usually, or there's just no combination of price and shipping speed that Amazon likes. So you can look back in the past and see if there was ever a price, maybe it was $5 below and you're still plenty profitable and you can bring the buy box back. But if there's no buy box, most of the time, if it was like consistently no buy box and still selling, like it's not really going to be too big of an issue for you. Yeah, the people need your Twitter, Joe. They're asking for it there. Since your first order on Amazon arrived on 10/30, if it arrived like 2 or 3 days ago and it still says 0, that's totally normal. Especially in Q4, everyone's sending inventory in right now, and so it's a little bit slower. Stacy, you'll usually want to give it probably 2 to 3 weeks for things to check in and start making sales on it. That's why FBM is so much more powerful this time of year. Everyone wants to be FBAing, trying to do it the lazier route, that kind of thing. If you are FBMing, you're going to get the inventory in hand. You can list it, make the sale, get your money back. You get your money back after the 2-week payback period, but you can receive an item and sell it the same day, compared to having to wait a couple weeks with FBA check-in times. So you guys are firing away down there. Sweet. Let's see. Start an FBA, trying to network, drop your Samuel, make a really there's a tremendous value for all of you guys. You must exist in public. Even if you don't have to be hopping on YouTube lives and making threads and all that kind of stuff. Like once a week, twice a week, post you at your laptop, taking the business seriously, and people will come to you. It's the biggest cheat code. You need 2 or 3 other Amazon sellers that you can share the journey with, especially Black Friday. You don't want to be staying up till midnight sourcing those sales by yourself. You want a couple people you can do it with. If you get partial order cancels and using a gift card, does it show back up on the gift card? It depends on the company, Mark. That's why I only like using gift cards on websites that like never cancel, because of that. It can be some headaches if you're trying to get refunds back to a gift card, that kind of thing. Let's see. What's up, Chad? I went to school for economics. Maybe was one of the more useful things I could have studied in college. It was just kind of a backup plan. At this point, we'll never need it. Pretty much definitely. But yeah, I wouldn't. I don't regret getting the backup plan. I wasn't quite ready. Wasn't quite making enough money for it to make sense to drop out of college. That kind of thing. But yeah, economics. Studied Chinese. I've unfortunately forgotten a lot of my Chinese. At one point, was pretty decent at it. Let's see. Google tips and tricks when sourcing for a specific product. Google image view or Google image search is super useful and very slept on. SellerAmp manual sourcing. So you can highlight over the text of anything anywhere, and it's going to search it on Amazon for you and show you like the SellerAmp data results for it. So those are the 2 I would suggest for you. Capital One Spark, a good choice. Yeah, Capital One Spark tends to be like a little bit harder to get. Like you're probably gonna want like an Amex Business Blue or Amex Gold even. Capital One Spark tends to give you like lower credit limits, or just doesn't approve you at all. There's just kind of a harder card to get. So if you can't get it, then start with like an Amex. But that's what I put most of my spend on, because it is a charge card. So if you're planning on like carrying balances and stuff, you wouldn't want to use it, but you get 2% back on everything. So when we're spending 100K plus a month on inventory, getting $2,000 a month, or $2,000 a month back for free is not too bad, right? Pays for rent, that kind of thing. Some coupons are location based. How to identify location for the site-wide coupons? They shouldn't really be location based. They're going to be site-wide. I don't know if I've ever seen a coupon that was dependent on like a state or something. At what point would you recommend applying for a business credit card? As soon as you have like an LLC, that kind of thing. There's no reason not to start building business credit, because you're gonna want to get like the Capital One Spark, that kind of thing that we're talking about there. Yeah, there's no reason not to start building it. Amex Biz Blue is probably the easiest one to open with. Went on Twitter, following Spree, reached out to a few. Yeah, and you broke the anonymity. We got an actual face to connect the name with. It's way easier to relate with people who exist in public, have a profile pic, post twice a week. They exist in Discords. They're interacting. You see their name out there. Those people are not going to fail. You're just not going to. There's going to be too many people that want to see you succeed, and there's going to be too many people that want to win with you. I plan on buying supplies only with the Business Prime account. Seems like, yeah, you could buy supplies with it, just as long as you never buy something and relist it. If you buy something on Amazon account and relist it under the same account, you're not going to be having a good time, especially if you do Prime. If you don't use Prime, that's totally legit, though. What up, Armand? Good to see you, man. At what point is it beneficial to set up an EIN? Pretty soon. Not a lawyer, that kind of thing. But yeah, you want to get the business formalized a little bit. It's not necessary when you're first starting, but if you've got any like personal assets, that kind of thing you want to protect, it's always a good idea to go the LLC route, that kind of thing. It's usually pretty cheap depending on your state, not required, but again, you don't want to have some freak accident, somebody takes a vitamin and, and who knows, somebody gets sue happy, that kind of thing, and take the car for it, right? That, obviously there's like a 1 in a million, even less than that chance of it happening. You just don't want to risk it usually. I was a broke college kid when I started, so it didn't matter for me. I didn't have an LLC, but can't hurt if you've got some stuff you want to keep safe, that kind of thing. If you sold on one of your listings, you don't plan on buying anymore, it would be a big deal if you delete it. So Robert, I would delete any listings that you don't plan on selling again and are a brand that you think might eventually IP complain. So for us, we do this on a lot of like health and beauty brands, vitamin brands, that kind of thing, where just over time, a lot of them start caring about Amazon a little bit more and maybe IP complain. That's the absolute worst when, a year later after you've never sold an item, they give you an IP complaint on it, that kind of thing. That is a thing. So if you're not planning on selling an item again and you're not super confident in the brand, then yeah, definitely delete the listing. If it's a brand that you're already still selling a bunch of and you're going to get hit with it either way, I would actually keep it just so you can keep that data. And then you can come back to that data if you ever, you don't think you're going to be able to restock it, but in case you find it on sale another time, or, Black Friday sale rolls back around, you haven't bought it since last year, but it's on sale for as cheap as you've ever seen it. Like, you're going to want to have that data. You don't want to forget about those products. And a lot of times if you delete listings from your Amazon account, it might, depending on the software you're using, it might delete it from your like inventory tracking software, that kind of thing. And that'd probably make you forget about a good product or two. Where do you get ungated? Nike, Adidas. We made it to 17 minutes today for those of us who are keeping score on the ungating question. Again, no shame in asking an ungating question. Fun little game though. You can ungate those with any website pretty much. As long as they list your billing address on the invoice, it's going to work for the invoices. They kind of cracked down on ungating. I would say they're less strict than they were a few weeks ago. It's hard to get ungated in a few things, but haven't seen as people having as many issues with ungating these days. So if you're trying to get like the big clothing brands, it's just like a Kohl's invoice, Dick's invoice, that kind of thing. Yeah, Zach celebrating the the 17 minutes for sure. Dick's coupons have been regionally based. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I've never done I've never looked into anything that's like regional based like that. Especially it might be like pickup related or something. If I had to guess then. Let's see. Appreciate you, Joe. Tons of free sauce. FBA, that's worth it when you're ready to dive in. Yeah, and we're gonna be dropping a ton more kind of live exclusive sauce on the Q4 masterclass we got going next Wednesday. A bunch of good feedback, some super cool gems. I know people are already sending me some messages, making money on the stuff we were showing them. So make sure you're registered for that Q4 masterclass. It's right beneath me. Links in the description. We went for like almost 2 hours last time, Q&A, doing some screen share, showing you guys a bunch of stuff. It was super fun. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday there. It's not too different from this, but we'll do like an hour of formal presentation, that kind of thing, and then just kind of open it up, do some more Q&A, that kind of thing. What would be your average quantity unit buy after Black Friday? It's going to depend on the product, Victor. So, I mean, some products like on Black Friday, especially if it's something you've been selling for a while, it's like the cheapest you've ever been able to buy that product. And you might want to stock up for 2, 3, 4 months, whatever capital allows, right? If you're super capital strapped, you don't need to be going super deep. You want to go wide, sell through as much of that stuff as fast as possible, and then, all recommitted, that kind of thing, right? But yeah, if it's something you've sourced it before, then go heavy on it. Should get the roadmap if you're doing 20K a month. Yeah, so it's great for like brand new sellers, and then it's also great for the seller who's at your sales level. Like 20K is great, but you're really just touching the tip of the iceberg, and so you're going to get a lot of value in like the sourcing methods you've never tried. We don't put on YouTube. Scaling with virtual assistants. If you're already doing 20K, you might find some value in that. You're probably once you double your business or so, you'll be ready for virtual assistants, that kind of stuff. The community Zoom calls every Sunday, like it's kind of priced and bundled together to be a no-brainer for you guys. If you've got the capital and want to scale faster, then it's priced as kind of the no-brainer for you. fighting for Adidas Original. And it's so annoying that they split Adidas and Adidas Original. I think it was actually the same thing. Adidas was super easy for us, Ashton, and then Adidas Originals took a bunch of applications. I don't know what it is. They're really uptight with that Originals ungate for whatever reason. Keep applying though. You'll be good to go. And most of the good Adidas listings you'll find are not Originals. They tend to sell like a lot of like weird stuff under Originals, like streetwear type, that kind of stuff. Would you recommend a business bank account or a person? I mean, well, ideally you would put everything through a business account. You wouldn't want to put anything through a personal account. That's often not really how it works. If you start a business, it's like, oh, I'm just going to give it a shot. I got $500. Let me make this happen. You don't set up the credit card and everything all by the book every time, right? As you grow, though, you do want to make sure that you are doing that. So yeah, put everything through a business bank account if you can. How many major categories do you diversify your store across? I mean, it's anything that's profitable, to be honest. So we're gonna audit the stuff that we've sold. If there's much lower profit than we would have wanted in a certain brand, certain category, we might start selling that one less. You see a bunch of returns somewhere, we're gonna stay away from it. So like we've been selling less Skechers than we used to. Something I learned, I think, from somebody on a YouTube live stream comment mentioned that Skechers uses like a different mold for every shoe. And so it gets way higher returns because people don't know what size shoe they are. And so you'll just start learning stuff like that. Yeah. Lost my train of thought a little bit, but mostly finished it. Let's see. Does feedback help your account? A little bit. You can boost your sales by like a tiny bit. The main thing that's going to matter in terms of feedback is once you get your first feedback, it's a nice little boost to your buy box percentage. After that, it's very marginal. A lot of times the boost that people associate with having higher feedback is actually just having more stock that's split across more warehouses rather than being like a big storefront that Amazon trusts. Usually those big storefronts that they trust, they've got 1,000 units in stock and you've got 2 feedback and 10 in stock, right? So that's why they're beating you on buy box a lot. If you're seeing a lot of those bigger storefronts making more sales than you. Does Amazon ever suddenly join a listing after not being on the listing for a while? I mean, they can. This is a sick username. This is sick. ASIN born. That's a top tier Amazon based YouTube username. But yeah, it's not a super common thing. You can also tell based on the other listings in that brand. So like Adidas is a brand that I would say can have some of that. Because Amazon sells on a ton of Adidas listings, right? If you look at, I don't know, like a Nike's, like a classic one, because Amazon literally sells on none of them, right? That's like part of why it's such a good brand to sell. Then it's a 0% chance of running into that risk. Taking our advice to start a social presence, I love it. I want to see some box pictures going out. We need to see the piles of merchant fulfilled products we got going out. Yeah, we need the people need to see it. ASIN born. That's a sick. That's so sick. You're able to resubmit the same documents for originals and ungated on the first attempt. Bang, good stuff. Does the roadmap give insider sourcing methods? You guarantee success? Yeah, I mean, so we do have some sourcing methods and stuff in the roadmap that we don't put on YouTube. We try to keep it at least 6 to 12 months ahead of the learning curve, ahead of where social media and YouTube and all that kind of stuff is at. So yeah, if you jump in, there's going to be some stuff that you have not seen before. Plus, you're going to get the weekly support calls, all that kind of stuff. Would love to see you there. It's always good to get to know the faces of people who are trying to do it, because the problem with a lot of sellers is that you're talking to no other Amazon sellers, right? So it's just like a nice little cheat code to get in and start talking to other Amazon sellers. You do not have to pay to talk to other Amazon sellers. It's just if you have the capital, you want to scale faster with us, then I think it makes sense. If I were in your shoes 5 years ago, that kind of thing, I built the product that I wish I'd had, basically. Monthly sales you'll shoot for when you're looking for products. It's like 30 sales a month usually. It's also going to depend on if it's like a variation listing, something like that. It's also just like a sliding scale between volume and profit, right? So if it's a 30 sale per month item, you don't want to buy it if it's like a 25% ROI, right? Whereas the 3,000 sale per month item, grocery category, that kind of thing, I might buy a 25% ROI. It's like a risk reward between volume and profit. Got your Rise and Grind t-shirt. Love to see it. That's been a super fun trend to watch. What up, Jimmy? On the Minecraft burner. You gotta get the at this point it doesn't matter, I guess. You gotta get the Amazon account up and rolling. Everybody just knows you by the Minecraft burner at this point. Do you think FBM will be a good opportunity in 2024? I mean, it's gonna be the same like as it is this year, right? So like through the end of the year, it's gonna be better than it will be in February, just because Amazon's warehouses are gonna be so like strapped for space and people to ship items out, that kind of stuff. So they're gonna be given more sales to, especially if it's similar prices, that kind of stuff. That's why FBM is so good during Q4. But I mean, yeah, it's a year-round opportunity. And you can move your money way faster. That's like the biggest benefit by far. Both, but especially yeah, exactly, Felix, for sure. Let's see. What's the deal with Amazon warehousing and distributing? I'm not sure what you're talking about actually. Is that like are they? I think I remember hearing something about it, but chances are, if it's a brand new Amazon program of some kind related around controlling your inventory more, probably not exactly what you want. Hence why FBM's so good. You get a lot more flexibility with your inventory, that kind of thing. You can fill me in on that if you want to, though. What you've done before signing up for Roadmap? I mean, anything you want, right? So we have people join who are literally have never sold anything. We have people join who are already doing 100K a month, and they just want to be able to shoot me a DM every now and then, hop on the calls, chop it up, that kind of thing. There's not really any criteria you have to meet beforehand. Yeah, and George, you're asking, the Roadmap does have weekly calls. Yeah, every Sunday. It's about 30 minutes to an hour. Just kind of chop it up. Last week, I think Miles was doing some like keep a product finder stuff, all that. Week before, I was diving into some sourcing VA. We had a guest speaker on account health. Yeah, try to keep that consistent support for you. Get to know your face, that kind of thing. Maybe like a 3PL, 3. Yeah, I think it looks something like that. Like, yeah, I think based on what I remember about it, it seems like a prep center is going to be better still, Brian. Maybe they iron it out and it ends up being cool, but for now, I would imagine it's not exactly the program you want to run with. How risky are meltable products? Is it wise to avoid during the summer? You can't FBA them at all during the summer. They just don't let you ship it in. What you can do though is check and see if it's actually meltable. So like there was like a vitamin product that was marked as meltable, that every summer we just FBM it instead, and for whatever reason no one else tries to FBM it, and so we're just making a bunch of money FBMing a product that isn't actually meltable. So we just sat it out in the southern heat for a day, see what happened to it. It didn't melt, it was fine, and so we just started shipping it out. No customer complaints, anything like that. Just starting up, would it make sense to buy leads list for a few months? Yeah, so especially if you have capital. If you have capital, 3 to 5K plus, a leads list can make sense. You just want to make sure you go for like a legit one. Most of them are not the most credible. I wouldn't have one that I could really recommend to you. I'd talk to other people in the community who have done it recently. But yeah, it's not a bad idea, just because you are going to see like the types of products people are selling, the brands that you can sell, a new website you never heard of before, a coupon that you've never seen before on one of your favorite websites. It can open your eyes to some new stuff, and then cancel it after like 2 or 3 months, like you're talking about. Kind of served the purpose at that point, just kind of showed you what's possible, what to look out for, that kind of thing. Is it monthly subscription or one time for the course? Yeah, so it's one time, Isaac. And we've been adding new content. It's been over almost 2 years. I guess February of 22? Yeah, I guess about like over a year and a half at this point. We just keep adding new content. Every time we do add content, we raise the price just to compensate for the value. So I think the people who joined originally paid like less than $200 or something insane. So if you join, we will not charge you another cent, and you get all the new value for free. Still trying to get ungated. Yeah, we can take a couple submissions. You experience a boost in sales already in November. Yeah, Martin, you'll start to see the sales really pick up in probably like 2 weeks or so, right around there. You can also see it on the Keepa chart. So like on the items you're selling, especially ones that you're banking on selling pretty fast, go and see like last year around this time, like how fast did they start selling, and you might be able to get a kind of a gauge on that. But yeah, really, it's like whenever people start buying presents that they're bringing to like family Thanksgivings and that kind of stuff, if they don't, they're not doing Christmases together, but they're meeting for Thanksgiving, like you'll start to see a little bit of a holiday rush around, but right before people do family Thanksgivings and stuff. And then it pretty much stays intense through the rest of the year. Roadmap's great. Worth it. Don't hesitate to get it. Appreciate you, Brian. Glad you're finding value. Is there a way to speed up FBA check-in times? Heard of shipping software using 2D labels. We've tested 2D. It's like slightly faster for us. Some people like swear by it, so maybe I was missing something. I've tested it like once or twice. I actually just sent in like 9 pallets the other day with 2D, and I need to see if they checked in earlier based on the 2D, so I can get back to you, get you some more scientific data on that. I haven't tested it enough times to know for sure. Hasn't made a significant difference for me though. Coming to Vegas. What's in Vegas, Nate? You're talking about ASD next year? I'll probably pop in for a day or two. Let me know if there's an Amazon event that I need to come by in pretty soon though. If it's cheaper to ship FBM through pirate ship, should you go that route every time if it's cheaper? Yeah, so like a lot of like the heavier products will be cheaper through pirate ship because you can buy cubic. But the downside is if you're not buying through Amazon, you're not getting the same level of like Amazon insurance. So, if the customer says, "Hey, I didn't get my item," you have a bigger headache than if customer says, "Hey, I didn't get my item," even if they're just making it up, you can tell them to file like an item not received claim, and then it's Amazon's fault. 2D seems like the same time. Yeah, I agree as well. I would love to be wrong though. It'd be cool to have stuff check in faster. You going to next year's Miami conference? Yeah. I think I'm speaking. I think I'm on the website. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm speaking in Miami. Regardless, I'll hopefully at least be there. It's always a good time. I think we'll probably be streaming with Avery and Taylor. For those of you guys who don't know, there's usually like a yearly event for sellers run in Miami. It's always a good time. We'll get you some more info on that before too long though. What's your input on price errors? Do you play with those? Not too much. I could be like, there's like with Amazon, like there are every day there's like a new business opportunity, even though like we're doing pretty well, like with the stuff we got going on, there's always that new shiny object, right? And so really, I think it's just finding the couple things that you like doing in Amazon. If price errors are how you have a lot of fun and you're able to scale with it, then go for it, right? I just haven't gotten too deep into the weeds on price errors. We're just having fun, making money, doing stuff, traditional OA, that kind of stuff, right? Working on putting out videos for you guys, all that kind of stuff. But it's a good thing to be in an industry where there's always so many new ways to find products and actually legitimately make money. So if that is fun for you and you find a good way to do it, then absolutely do it. Appreciate you, Trent. Roadmap's worth the price. If you shipped with Amazon's recommended shipping where it's more expensive but has rebates, maybe I don't know what you're talking. Is that like FBA or FBM? I'm not sure I know what you're talking about, to be honest. Could be like a program that they're offering to certain people or something. Did you ever get a risk of deactivation from Amazon for being over 1% order defect rate? Stressful. It took us 2 orders. Yeah, you can get some really scary banners for things that are not actually that serious. As long as you've done your due diligence and you know that you're not going to be causing any more of those order defects, you're shipping out more good inventory, all that kind of stuff. Best way to solve it is just drawing it with more legitimate sales that you've done. If there was like, maybe if it's like on the same item, then like probably place like a removal order on it. See if there was something wrong, if you put the wrong label on it or anything like that. Like, but yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You're all good. They do love to give you a heart attack with some of the banners sometimes, though. Do you recommend RA or OA on Black Friday? I think OA for sure on Black Friday. And that wouldn't always even be my answer for like beginners. Like sometimes going to do RA, hitting up a Ross on an outlet store, that kind of thing is genuinely a better way. You get like hands-on experience. You get to touch the products, you get to scan it, you can buy it the same day, list it, sell it all the same day. There's just going to be way more opportunity online, just based on not being able to find the quantities that you're going to want in store, as well as like the small niche items that are going to be 30-40% off, all that kind of stuff. Not the fastest sellers might not have a ton of them in the store, but you can buy a bunch of them online, that kind of thing. Even though you don't, can you explain that? Yeah, so we're talking about price errors. It's basically just like if Amazon marks something down too low, you snipe it, sell it back on Amazon. If another website, they accidentally, somebody at corporate misses a zero, something like that, you're buying a $100 item for $10. It's more like using bots and Discord monitors and that kind of stuff. Not something I've gone super deep into. Typically not the most scalable, just because you're relying on people making mistakes and one-off opportunities. I like finding items that I can hopefully buy again, right? So that's the beauty of arbitrage. And what a lot of people underrate is that your arbitrage catalog, while it's not a private label product where you're just buying the same supplier over and over and over again, your catalog is a massive asset, right? So we've got, I think, over 10,000 leads at this point that we've sold and sourced before. And so this year when Black Friday rolls around, not only am I going to look through those Black Friday sales, but I'm also going to filter down to each site that we've sourced from before, see if that item's still in stock, see if it's on a good sale, see if the Amazon price still looks good, all that kind of stuff. And that really just becomes a huge asset if you're using it correctly. I'm trying to get around high price error from Amazon, trying to post an item, current offer. You have to go $5 below the current price. That's weird. I would open a case on that, Chris. Especially if they're making you lower your price below where somebody else is already making sales. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Can you mention how to verify a wholesaler? There's a lot of scammers out there. Yeah, so there's a lot of like the Telegram wholesalers and that kind of stuff going around. Like legitimate wholesalers will have Better Business Bureau ratings, all that. Like they're probably not going to be posting up, standing on top of pallets in their warehouse. Like you can look up their website and you can see that they have people on LinkedIn that actually work for the company, and there's salesmen and there's directors and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's always just about looking at really like social media platforms, checking the Dunn's numbers, Dun and Bradstreet, that kind of stuff. See if they're on there and if they're legitimate wholesalers based on that. If they're offering you super fast selling, like very popular arbitrage brands at prices that you don't know how they're getting, then maybe be a little bit wary. Yeah, ask for a picture of the warehouse. That's a good one too from Locomotion. FBA shipment got sent across this country. Fast shipping, 3x the cost of shipping, 65 in rebates come through referral fees. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, Felix, to be honest. But it sounds like you made money on the rebate. So yeah, it sounds like a good program. Yeah. How many ASINs do you have? Is it a small amount making big profits? So we've got some. My team manages the store, so I don't tend to know the exact numbers super often, which is kind of fun and scary sometimes. But last I checked, we had somewhere like 400 to 500 products that we're selling. We tend to float around in there. During Q4, we might go up to like 600 or 700 different products, but it's always 80-20 rule, right? So 80% of your profit's going to come from 20% of your best selling ASINs. So if you're able to just kind of zero in on those faster selling ones, then you might be able to find some good opportunity based on that. But while you're new, it's casting a super wide net, seeing what sticks, and then going heavy on the stuff that worked really well for you. How do you get people to buy their product when there's dozens of other sellers selling the same product? Yeah, so it's going to rotate through the buy box. So if you are the same shipping speed, the same price as the other sellers on the listing, 99 times out of 100, it's going to rotate between everyone who's by those standards, right? That's kind of the beauty of Amazon is you can be, a guy in your bedroom and in Indiana and you're sharing sales with billion-dollar companies just because that's how Amazon works, right? That's the beauty of it. That's why it's a good business for new sellers. How many employees do you have at your scale? We're running a lot bigger than we have been, just to bring on some more manpower and source through these Christmases a little bit more. We have 8 product sourcers right now, an admin, somebody who works solely on our database, and then team lead. So he's looking at all their leads, kind of providing direction for the team, that kind of thing. So yeah, I just hired 3 pretty recently. I'm trialing somebody else right now as well. Once you build a system and you have people that are spending, at least bare minimum 10K a month you can spend on their products, you'd ideally be close to like 20K or above that you're spending on a team member's products. Once you get to that and you can dial it in and have people consistently doing that, then it's just about feeding more into the system. You kind of reach terminal velocity at some point where if you have too many people, it gets hard to manage. For way back in the day, we were doing like leads list and all that kind of stuff. We had like 20 something. That was probably too many people realistically, all trying to source the same sales, same sites, trying not to step on each other's toes. I think a team of like anywhere from like 5 to 10 is ideal. But if you find a monster product sourcer, then you wouldn't need that. You always go wide. Yeah. We tend to go a lot wider than a lot of other Amazon sellers. And that's just kind of the nature of the business I like to run, where it's mostly outsourced. They're just not going to be quite as good as finding like this one random product that you can buy and loop this discount code with this cash back and all that kind of stuff like you'd be able to do if you're just a one-man show and you can run up 1,000 units of something. It tends to just be like, it's just an army of base hits is kind of how I like to look at it. So we just build a system that gets really good at hitting base hits on products. And there's give and take to that. You're very diversified, but it's also fun to have that one item that you're buying 1,000 of and wipe your hands of it and ship it all in, all easy one decision for repricing, that kind of stuff. So there's definitely pros and cons. What up, Miles? I think for those of you guys who are really wanting to soak in the knowledge tonight, Miles is streaming in 15 minutes basically on his channel. Also trying to lob me some softball questions here. So if you guys are really wanting to marathon the Amazon content tonight, go ahead over to Miles' channel in like 20 minutes. You're fully remote. Yeah, absolutely. You probably won't be fully remote at the start unless you really set it up that way. It's not like the best way to start your business out, especially during Q4. If you are taking the business seriously and you want to put serious time and make the most money possible, you'll be doing a lot of FBM, shipping to you, touching products, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm fully remote at this point. Biggest mistake last Q4. I mean, it's always just not buying enough. even on the second Q4 that we did pretty well on, you still get that item that you went crazy on and you made a ton of money on, but you could have bought twice as much and sold twice as much. So all of you guys, like, especially for those of you guys who are already selling, you're making decent money, multiply no matter what you're thinking in your head, multiply that by like 1.5 to 2x. If you think you're going to sell 10 of it, buy 15 to 20. Like there's very few times that you will regret buying extra during moving into Q4. If you're looking back in the past and seeing that the price goes up every Christmas, it's already dipping in demand, that kind of stuff. Buy more than even you think is smart right now, and you'll see it pay off. Buying the roadmap when you get home. Yeah, we'll see you on the Sunday call then. I'm running this Sunday call. We'll be hanging out. Can source some products together, ask some questions. Love to see you there, Gene. You're on these streams a lot. You're clearly taking the business seriously, so I think it would definitely be worth it for you. Love the new buy box feature on SellerAmp. Bang, glad you're using it. It's also going to be super useful for you guys who are sourcing those Q4 products, checking the buyback rotation, selecting FBM, and then you can see which of the products are going to be super FBM friendly. We're also going to go super deep on like the types of products you want to be sourcing this Q4, how to prepare, all that good stuff on the class on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys are registered for that down below. We got a ton of good feedback on the last Wednesday's call. So we'll see you guys on that one. I guess we've been going for 45 minutes or so. So probably call the stream at this point. Good chopping it up with you guys. Hope you guys are all having a great end of your week. Let's spend some money tomorrow. Let's power through. Start making those lists of products that you want to buy on Black Friday. And yeah, let's get after it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Tons more freebies. Go check out the YouTube video, beginner playlist, all that kind of stuff. Tons of free resources for you guys. Let's crush Q4. Thanks for hanging out, guys.